Alrighty guys, I'm gonna drill the crank on the 235 today. So that hole is in the crank already. It's already in the end. So it's pretty much like a pilot. Um, so what you need, it's a quarter inch. Quarter inch drill bit is the same exact size as that hole, which is right there. So from the face of the crank right here to the where the drill bit's touching that hole was a half an inch. Pretty much on the dot. A little bit more, but not much. So what I did, here, I'll show you. So I put the bit in and then I measured with the mic and it came out about a half an inch, which seems small, but I mean, it's about right. So I got this in here. By the way, I just picked this up. Half-inch cordless drill, $100 at Lowe's. 2 batteries, all that. And Amazon sells batteries. Lowe's sells 4 amp hour battery for like $100 or something like that. But I found it on Amazon for 2 for $50. So I'm going to be picking those up. But anyway, got the quarter-inch bit. Got it measured and marked on the bit. It's not focusing. Come on, focus. Anyway, you can kind of see the black line on there. There it is. That's 1.5 inches in. So, doesn't need to be much, just as long as you can screw the harmonic balancer installer back on or onto the crank and press the balancer on. It's press fit anyway, mostly, so get a bolt in there. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's it. So I'm going to start drilling now. I'm going to try and prop this camera up so I can film while I do it. But I don't know if it's, I'm assuming it's going to work, so we'll find out here. Alright, it's going. I have it propped up on my engine stand. Or engine hoist, rather. Alright. Don't forget to oil the drill bit. And this creates another problem because it makes all the shavings stick, which is good and bad. But you want to make sure everything's straight. Okay, so it's kind of working, but not really. So I'm going to use a smaller bit and see what happens. The only problem with the smaller bit is it's going to be almost impossible to center it. It's doing it. Getting it done slowly but surely. Hopefully that hole's centered. I really hope that hole's centered. What you don't want to do is break the bit off inside the crank, because then you're pretty much screwed. Alright, there it is. That was a 5/32 bit. Now we're going to try this quarter again. It's up 3 sizes, so not a huge jump now. But it should be enough that this 1/4 inch can actually do something. What I should have brought is something to get the shavings out, which I didn't bring. So let me see if I can figure something out here. You definitely want to keep it cleaned out, because if you jam up that drill bit in there and it snaps off, then it's not good. Alright, it's centered. Perfect. Alright, so here's how it looks right now. So I had to drill the smaller hole because it's too much with the 1/4 inch bit. So now we got the 1/4 inch bit back in. Got it tightened down. Get some oil on it. And we'll see how she goes. Make sure you check from the side and the front, or the top rather, as you go, because if it's crooked, the bolt's going to be crooked. Probably not a huge deal, but better to not be. Smoking a little bit. I don't want that. See how easy it's drilling? I mean, it's drilling it right out. No problems. Alright, get all the metal out again. Show you guys the hole again here in a sec. Of course, the oil's keeping me blowing on it from doing anything because all the metal shavings are stuck. Alright, let me... So that's where we are now. Looks like it's a tiny bit off center, but maybe not, I can't tell, but that's not going to make a difference. It's so close to the center line that it doesn't matter. And I know a lot of you guys are probably like, of course it matters, but it really doesn't, I promise. So, we'll keep on going. Alright, so I can probably make bigger jumps than I'm making, but I went from 5/32 to a quarter, which was a big jump, but now I'm going quarter 5/16, and then 3/8, and then I'm going to the big daddy bit, the 29/64, because I don't have anything else in between. And this fills up the entire hole and leaves no room. Yeah, to try and go bigger than this would not be wise. I mean, it looks dead on straight. Also, I don't want to get any metal shavings in my eyes because I forgot my safety glasses. Alright, here's 5/16. Step it up to 3/8. Guess I should mark the thing, huh? The drill bit. remember, you don't want to go crooked at all, because the crank is only so big in diameter. So, if you go crooked at all, you're pretty much screwed, because you'll drill out the side of it or something like that, or drill it way thinner on one side than the other. Now this is 29/64. This is the whole reason I bought this half-inch bit, or half-inch drill, because I didn't have my 3/8 drill. Obviously it won't fit it, so I bought this bad boy so it will fit it, and I can get this job done that I'm doing right now. Now a shop would charge, I got it quoted at $100 to do this, but the crank has to be out. They won't do it with the crank in. Since I'm not doing a full rebuild, and since I've done it once before and I'm doing it right now, why would I pay $100? You see how fast it's going. Of course, I don't have a bolt to put in after I tap it, but I will. I'll get one. Alright, here we go, 29/64. Get this bad boy nice and lubed up. And again, I forgot to mark it, but I'll do that right now after I let the oil run down the bit a little bit. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly right. The markings are more, because this bit's not going to go any further than the hole allows it to. It's not going to drill deeper holes. It's only going to go to where the pilot is, with the pilot being 1.5 inches in. So it's really not a big deal. Now this one can make or break your whole job, so make sure you do this carefully and keep her straight. Slow and steady wins the race on this one, guys. Lots of oil. This is a pretty big jump. I'm feeling it as it's drilling in. It doesn't feel as smooth as the rest of them did. Oh, easy there. Easy there. Just remember, if you can have somebody watching from one angle while you watch from the other angle, that'd be ideal. But I'm flying solo, so I'm going to try and keep an eye on both of them. But I'm using so much cutting oil that I tried to find a drill with a, whatchamacallit on top, a level, but I couldn't. Make sure you keep your bit clean, keep your bit oiled, and look constantly. Just like you're driving. Like, don't keep your eyes on one spot at the same time. Looks dead on to me. I can't tell. That's it. Y'all tell me what you think. Looks perfectly straight that way. And perfectly straight that way. Here is the 1.5 inch mark right there. Goes a little bit deeper, but that's good because you don't want the bolt to bottom out in your crank. Because your bolt bottoms out, you try and keep cranking, something's got to give. All right, 29/64. Now that's assuming you're using a 1/2 inch center bolt too. Here's what the hole looks like in it. I'm going to clean out all those shavings. And I have my, let's see, I'm looking through the camera right now, so I'm seeing exactly what y'all are seeing. I'm trying to find the markings. There they are. That's what I'm using right there, 1/2 tells you the size drill bit on there. A lot of people use 7/16 bolts, but it's only 1/16 bigger, and you know, I don't know. I just figure, why not? This is what I used on the 58 235 that's in my car now, and I did it the same exact way. So let me go ahead and get my tap set up, get some cutting oil on there, and it's go time. Alright, so I had to go buy one of these because mine has a giant crack in it, and I had no idea. And this thing's a piece of junk anyway, so $22 later, here I am. Alright. I was thinking about trying to put the tap in my drill, but it would not center itself at all, so I decided against that. Get a good grip on this thing. This can literally ruin the entire job that you've just done if you do this crooked. Alright, be back in 6 seconds. Alright, here we go. Get all the metal shavings off. You gotta keep this bad boy nice and clean. If by some chance you screw up a thread on this, there's no fixing it. Alright, here we go. Again, make sure everything is straight, like perfectly straight. Because once it goes, it's gone. I was under the assumption that the hole would line up the taps the first time I did it. And I think I got it a tiny bit crooked. Not a lot, but enough that I wasn't happy with it. And it's made zero difference in anything. Now I've seen on a couple different websites, there's companies that sell kits to do this, and essentially what they sell you for 140 bucks, 150 bucks is something you slip over here to make sure you keep it straight. But I have a little more time than money, so I can take the time to make sure everything's good. Now if I was doing this for, say, other people, and I had multiple jobs to do, I wouldn't hesitate to buy one of those kits. But I feel like it'd be a waste of money, since this is the second time I've ever done this. And if you're just careful, ideally I wouldn't have this stupid 4-liter sitting behind me so I could get further away from it. But what can you do? Alright, now, I mean, I guess at this point if it's going in crooked I can't really straighten it out, so no point in sitting here taking forever. Now I'm going to back it out because I feel some resistance. So I'm going to back it out and try and clean some of the shavings out. Now I bought that 29/64 drill bit, and I bought this tap specifically for what I'm doing right now. Never been used on anything else, never will be used on anything else. Now I have a crap load of metal shavings in there. I don't know if that's going to screw me up or not. I really hope it doesn't. Let me do this actually, since this is junk now. What I need is a magnet. I didn't even think about that. This works unusually well. Now, ideally, I'd be using something besides a shop towel, like Q-tips or something, but I don't have any. So this is working pretty well, actually. The first time I did it, I had access to an air hose, so of course that was the best way. This isn't bad though, and it's keeping everything walled up in there, so it should be alright, I hope. Alright, get some more oil on this. Let me clean this up and then I'll get some more oil on it, get all that, as much metal off of it as I can. Try and keep these threads clean. And tons of oil. I know I'm probably using too much, but I don't care, because I want this bad boy to be perfect, and I plan on keeping this motor and or selling it at some point if I ever decide V8 swap or whatever, which I probably won't, but if I do, and whoever gets this motor, I'd like for it to work for them as well as I'm hoping it's gonna. Well, I mean, I'm positive it'll work because I've done it before, but I don't want to sell somebody something that's screwed up in it anyway. So we're just going to keep on rolling. Looks dead on straight to me. I have a bolt in this little bag right here. I don't know if you can see that. Slow and steady. I think she's done. Here, it's all the way back. Alright, let me get all the junk out of here. Most of the junk anyway. I'm not worried about all of it, although I should be. Well, that took care of that. No worries. This works just as well. A Q-tip would be ideal, but I don't have one. Alright, one more time with this, should be good. Should be being the key word. A lot of oil. In my opinion, you can't have too much oil. And there we have it. Is it showing up at all? Not really. There it is. Threaded. Half-inch 20 bolt. Screwing on in. Guess I got all the metal out, huh? Perfectly straight. Perfectly straight. A little bit of time and effort is all it takes. Perfectly straight. Do yourself a favor. Save yourself a crap load of money. And, yeah, do this yourself. Cost me, if that hadn't have broken, I think the drill bit was 13. The tap was like 9. And if you already have a half-inch drill, you got that and a good set of drill bits. And that's it. Cutting oil. A bolt. And I bought some gigantic fender washers because for some reason I thought the hole was a lot bigger, but it's not. So I'm going to just get a thick grade 8 and probably downsize this bolt too, but I'll find out. I mean, for $1 and some change, it was worth knowing that it was all straight and the threads were good. Focus, baby, focus. Alright, it's not working with me. There we go. Threaded crankshaft snout. Chevy 235. Done by hand. Way cheaper than paying a machine shop. Way cheaper than buying the kit. That's it. Now you can use a harmonic balancer installer instead of trying to figure out a way to get this thing on, like throwing it in the freezer or the oven or whatever people do. However you look at it, you're good. You just pull the crankshaft right back on, just like a modern motor. And that's it. Let me know what y'all think. And if anyone's working on a 235, there you go.